back to Studio Lou. It's Cindy. So I know it's been a couple of days or so since I made a video. I have been like really busy. So yeah, I am starting to get a few things done though on these journals. Not a whole lot. Like these covers are still waiting for me to get them finished. So I have gone through and created all my digitals and stuff, and I have sort of, I'll show you this in a minute, but I have a basket basically for all three of these journals, and it has most of the contents of what I want to put in them, but I haven't made the ephemera yet. So this is just a little kind of preview. So it'll be one altered book. I still have to go through this altered book and make sure that in fact I did remove enough pages that it's not going to be too bulky. So I'll set that one aside. And then this one, I've got everything sort of mostly prepared, and the cover there, and that one I will set aside too. So I have a few things to show you. So as I said, I haven't gotten a lot of work done this week. It's been like a really busy week. So basically I had a couple of copies of this book that were extra. I kind of went shopping in my library in my home, and so if you are a Rainbow Brite fan or a vintage book fan or what have you, a toy collector, please don't get upset with me because these books are actually extremely common, and I had already a couple of copies of them in my library. So I've already cut up one of them to use to make ephemera and digitals for this series. Not that I'm making digitals to sell or anything like that. I use them to make my own images for these journals. So only for these three journals. There won't be any usage of these images. We don't copy things like this because of copywriting. So I will be using these actual, I think, book pages from this book. So you'll see this book is really cute. Rainbow Brite and the big color mix-up. And I love this inside cover. I was thinking about maybe I might make a fourth journal where I use this book cover, but I haven't decided on that yet. But here's a little, just a little flip through of the images in this book because they are really beautiful. So they are going to get used in these journals, definitely. I have already cut up one copy of this and used some of the pictures, mainly these ones, as part of my images. So I kind of split them up between the three journals because, you know, you only have so many images in one book. And I also had a bunch of vintage Valentines and stickers and all of that were all Rainbow Brite related. I've been a collector of vintage toys and ephemera for probably a couple of decades now. And some of that is, I don't know, I'm starting to look at things in a different way. You know, like I don't want to have too much stuff. And also, like, I don't know, there's other ways to love and enjoy things. So that's what I've done here. Like this is a cutout from this book, and I stuck it on this piece of paper and just scanned it. And then I will use the actual original just for my own personal uses because I won't be obviously creating copies. So that's the case for every page in this book. It's as though I would have ripped and stuck the page right in here. But I didn't want to use all the rest of the background images, and also wanted to make it kind of more easy to write on. So that's what I've done. So one book has said goodbye, but it did become some cute digitals. So there are some nice things. I'll just do a quick flip through of what's going to be in this book series. So the books will all have very similar papers in them because I did have a couple, like I said, I will have 3 editions of this book for 3 journals. So, and then I went ahead and just did other things, like I made my own images with some of the pictures, and basically just created a bunch of cute pages for these journals. Did my own artwork as well. And then I cabbage dyed some rainbow pages. So these are really fun. Just with different kind of rainbow themed images. And they're really fun on the back with the cabbage dye. Lots of fun. So it's going to be really cool pages in these journals. These are actually digitals from Vintage by Me on Etsy. They're called Magic Pages, and I thought they just went really great with this theme. I also think they will work really well with my Lady Lovely Locks journals that I will do eventually. So this is just kind of rainbow images that I created in Photoshop and just played with, and created my own digitals basically. So these are what are going to be in here. So there will be a few Rainbow Brite book pages and images that will be used on ephemera, and then the rest of the pages, because there will probably be about 4 signatures, 3 or 4 in the book. The rest of the pages will be cool, like dyed papers and, you know, typical like fun coffee, tea, cabbage dyed paper, interesting scrapbook papers and vintage papers, just different cool things. So that's what I'm going to be doing for these. And then, like I said, so I went book shopping in my library and found a few books that I want to use in journaling. So I should mention, so I showed you before in one of my thrift haul videos, I had a Wuzzles book. Well, I found another Wuzzles book that was a duplicate. I have another copy of this, so I'll be using those two to create a couple of Wuzzles journals probably. And then I found these 2 Care Bears books that I have that they can become maybe Care Bears journals. And then I have this L'Arbre qui Marche book. It's basically the tree that walked, or the tree that walks. So this would be great in, like, you know, I made those gnome journals and I really loved those, and it got me to thinking about more of the kind of magical nature sort of themes, and like things like fairies and stuff like that. And like this would be a really great book for this because it has all those magical like themes with beautiful nature, you know, images. It's a really perfect book. And then I found that I had 2 copies of Richard Scarry's What Do People Do All Day. So I don't know. This may or may not become journal stuff. We'll see. So that's the books. So yeah, I got those out of my library, and I'm starting to just feel like it's nice to use things up sometimes, because I have, like I said, a whole library in my house. Like I have a lot of books, but like they are primarily contained to one room that I've turned into a library. And then I have a few more books that are sort of at the top of our stairs in our foyer, but otherwise it's pretty contained. And then I found for these Rainbow Brite journals, these paper shapes. So I thought they'd be pretty perfect because they're like a pastel rainbow. And also I thought like especially these yellow stars would be really like very cute in this journal. So they're going to be on a lot of the ephemera that I make and throughout the journals. Other than that, I got a new tool. I got this mini board for folding paper. It allows you to crease your paper, and it even has some interesting marks on the back that you can create, like if you were creating cards or envelopes. So that's something that I wanted to get for a while. I just needed the little one. I don't need the great big one. I'm trying not to get so many supplies that it just crowds up my studio more. So there's that. Yeah, and other than that, I've just been like working on all sorts of different things, and I'm hoping to kind of get a little bit of a break from a few things because work has been really busy. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do today. I could probably finish these covers, and I'm thinking about what fabric and what end papers that I want to use in here. But I think the first thing I'll do probably is just find a fabric to put down here, because that's kind of the first stage of strengthening your spine. I do have this nice yellow fabric that I thought about using. I don't know if it's a little thick though. It's like a lightweight kind of canvas, but I'm not sure. So that's a maybe. Yeah, we'll think about that. So maybe what I'll do is I will just I'll separate out my signatures, my pages that I've already created. So I think in this journal would be good. It would support easily, I think, 4 signatures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, probably 4 signatures, probably 12 pages maybe each. So what we need to do first, I guess, is just create a stack of 4 stacks of papers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just making sure that everything is different. I feel like I've lost count already. In my effort to keep things kind of mixed up, I've lost count. Okay. I will count them after. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 and then 1 has 11. So I'm going to need a few more pages to get all of these, I think, to probably 12. Okay, so this one we know is already at 11, so I'm going to add one of these to make it 12. And these are, I think I shared, that one has a little tear on the side, we're not going to use that one. I shared these in like a thrift haul video a little bit ago. I found them in a big stack in the store. There were more even than what I grabbed, but I thought they would be great for journaling. So now let's just double count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so that's definitely at 11. So that signature is finished. And then I'm going to add one of these to make will be at 11 pages for the rest of the stacks. We'll use one of these papers in each. So these are all at 11, and now we will use 3 sheets of the lace coffee dyed paper that I made. I think this will be a nice contrast. Okay. So that will sort out all the signatures for that book. Okay, so then let's see. So I think I'll maybe just make a piece of ephemera from this. This is a page out of a comic book. It was an advertisement for a Rainbow Brite puzzle. And so I'm going to just grab a piece of paper and some stuff to decorate it. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So I think I'll make a journal card out of this. But I think I need it to be a little bit thicker than just these 2 pages, because comic book paper is very thin and construction paper is not a whole lot thicker. So what I might do is actually use a backing so that we have 3 pieces of paper, or actually I might just back this with book page, and then everything will be stronger. Okay. Go. Then I will just cut this out real quick. I'll probably just rip it actually. So I've been starting to watch a lot of different other YouTubers, their Vlogmas videos, and also for the journal makers out there that are doing December dailies. I've been checking out a few of those. I've been really enjoying Catherine, her videos from Sunnyside Journals. She's like, honestly, so charming. I feel like she's like the nicest person. I kind of want her to adopt me. She's so cute. She just seems like a really sweet, endearing person, and I like her. So then I think we will maybe round the edges of this. Oops. There we go. And then just do a little bit of blue ink. I think I will put this on here. All this lovely German writing. It's so beautiful. I don't know what it is about looking at other languages and other characters that are just so appealing. I guess because you just don't see it all the time in your day-to-day. It's nice. Okay. Now I will just make sure we're straight here. Yeah, okay. should have my ruler. Okay, that's fine. I'm probably going to sew around this, so I might pause you for a minute just while I do that. Once I get it all trimmed the way that I want to. Let's see. Okay. Then I think I will just round these corners too. So this would be like a large, maybe a large journal card, or possibly like a flip out page in the journal. And I'm just going to pause you while I sew this. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all been sewn around now, and I'm just going to recut these corners because I trimmed a little bit more. There we go. Then I think I also just want to ink around the edge of this. Okay. And I think it just needs a few more little elements to be nice. Maybe one of those paper cutouts. Boy. Let's maybe see if the yellow star might actually fit on this one. Maybe like right like that. That could be cute. Where is my glue book? There it is. I think I'm going to need to find my sparkle paint as well. I think we're going to need to do some sparkle painting. I was thinking I might actually cover the puzzle cover with a sparkle paint. Just a transparent sparkle paint. Here we go. And then I wonder if I have, there it is. Just gonna grab my big box of fabric things and bits and bobs. I kind of want to add like maybe like a piece of ribbon or something. I'm thinking like red would be nice. Okay, some kind of a nice piece of ribbon up top. I think that would be pretty. Let's just see how long. Right there's good. And I might actually just sew this right on rather than glue it. Just sew it right on. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to just sew this on. That's been sewn on. Now I just got to trim it. So I was looking online today for just different things that I might want to use with this journal. And I think I actually found some digital images that you can download that you can purchase from Hallmark themselves. So I have to look at them though, because I think they might be the modern Rainbow Brite, so it won't go with this vintage vibe that I'm using from all these old Valentines and comics and stuff. So I don't know that that really needs anything else. Yeah, I think I might be happy with that. Okay, so first thing done, a journal card. And I go back into my box here. Let me move all these signatures out of the way. Okay, I think I'll do one more on camera, and then I'll probably try to do a little bit more work on this tonight. So this one, I honestly think I might actually back it with the same yellow just to have a couple that are, if this is wide enough, I don't know. Yeah, it is. Perfect. Yeah, I really like that yellow. Maybe I'll use, no, that one's not big enough. Okay. So we'll back this again with book page just to give it more thickness. So it's a really snowy day today, but it's really pretty outside. Sadly though, my work day was so busy I did not get to go out and enjoy it. By the time I wrapped up all my work, I had to make dinner, and the daylight was gone. The daylight was gone before I made dinner, but it's just how it goes sometimes. I have to find some ways to maybe embrace some night walks, but it's kind of hard with little ones when it's cold out and it's dark, and as much as you want to try to be outside all the time, it's hard sometimes. So I started this, like, referencing this program called 1,000 Hours Outside, and it gives you all these ideas to try to, basically the end goal is to try to spend 1,000 hours outside in a year with kids. And I have to say, it's a pretty ambitious program. It really is when you think about how much outside time that is. But I think, you know, like most things, they're flexible, and you can look at things like that and just reference them for ways to just basically add those elements into your day-to-day life. So they have like an advent calendar for the program that's basically like different ideas for different kinds of hikes. So yesterday was just hike 1 mile, and we didn't do that. And today is take a lantern hike, and we didn't do that either because I haven't had time. But there's all sorts of things like take a hot chocolate hike and all these different things. So I think I'm certainly going to do that. I'm going to probably like take a nice hike with my daughter. We're going to make some treats for the birds, some little like dehydrated oranges and cranberries and things, and we're going to make strings of bird feeder type things with like seeds and peanut butter and all those nice things that you can do for the birds in the wintertime. So we're going to do that. Probably take some hikes that are themed along those kind of themes. So again, just give me one moment. I'm going to sew this. And I also just sewed this little fabric tab to the top, so it's more of like a journal tag. I'm just going to trim all these little threads away. Sometimes I just leave them, but this time I think I'm going to get them off. Okay. Then, might just round these edges. And I think I will ink around this one, but not with blue this time. Maybe with pink. There it is. Oopsie. Come here. Too many things on my desk. Again. There's always too many things on my desk. Okay. So that is that. And I might, I have these little tiny, they're actually stickers, but they're very old. So I'm going to have to put some glue on the back of them to just make sure that they still stick. Because glue from the 80s has certainly gotten old over time. So here we go. I'll just stick this little sprite on the back of this one. There we go. Okay, so that's what we did for today. 2 journal cards. Rainbow Brite journals are officially on their way, and that's all I'm going to do for now. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a really good week, and I'll hopefully get another video out this week. I'm going to try to just get a bunch of work done, so I'll share it with you in my next video. So yeah, all my social media information's in the description box down below, and if you're bored and you want to watch a fun movie, this week I watched Hunt for the Wilder People on Netflix, and it was amazing, so I recommend you check that out. And thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a great day.